Hi, I'm James McLachlan, editor of Car Design News, and I'm here with Ralph Gilles, Chief Design Officer at Stellantis. We've just come off stage with a very interesting panel discussion Ralph was witness to. We were talking about the idea of exterior design and electrification and how that is changing the front of cars. And your thoughts, basically, Ralph.
Yeah, we have 14 brands at Stellantis. I'm responsible for North American brands and Maserati, and every one of them we're contemplating this thing. How do we, first of all, announce the electrification? It is different. It's different technology. We don't need the cooling. So the grille has a different job. It's not defining the brand necessarily. It can still. We can actually have faux grilles if we wish to, but it's an opportunity to get rid of the grille, to reinvent it, reinterpret it, and in so doing, the car becomes modern because people aren't used to not seeing a grille. But you got to be careful. I think you can clearly wipe the face off. Imagine you had no nose, so so you don't want to do that. So it's a careful consideration that we're having fun. Let's say advancing design and signature.
And I suppose it's a difficult balancing act because some brands, some of the brands that you oversee, a lot of their identity is tied into these elements of the car. So how do you sort of move it forward without sort of jettisoning everything?
In the case of the Wagoneer concept we did, we're using cast lighting. So we still have the 7 elements to signify the Jeep brand, but we're using lighting almost like an art installation in a way. Same with the Alpha brand. Our future Alphas, they're going to use this Scudetto in a different way. You'll still see it, but it's not necessarily a cooling element anymore.
Right.
So things like that, having a little fun.
Moving away slightly from the nitty-gritty and the minutiae of design, I'd like to ask you about the role of the designer in the boardroom. Now, this is something you have a sort of direct line to the CEO at Stellantis. We don't see this that often in the car industry.
Yeah, and I think it's critical, and that's been I've been lucky in my career for the last since 2008. I've been a seat at the boardroom, right with the CEO, reported directly to the CEO, and that allows I say design to have a seat at the table, right when the big decisions are being made, and sometimes they're really at the end of the day we make a product, we make a physical device, something that someone's going to spend a lot of money on. So it's important that be considered completely in a 360 way. And I'm also fortunate I have a business degree, so I can kind of speak their language.
Yes. And on that, I mean, what advice could you give to sort of a designer at a senior level who would like to sort of make that transition? Because you say it's not an easy one to make.
Yeah, I think you'd have to dive into the business case. I think I'm naturally curious about it, and I find even on my team, I have designers that have business degrees, went back to school, helps. And sometimes some would argue that pollutes the purity of a designer, right? Sometimes it makes you too smart.
Yes.
It's actually better to be a little naive because you can create something new that way. But I think there's a balance. And in my role, I found it's been helpful to decode, demystify the business case and also spend a lot of time with the brand heads. So a lot of the companies that are doing a good job out there have very strong brand leaders that understand the brands deeply, but they need our help to visualize what they want to do.
Ralph, that's fascinating to talk to you as always, and we'll see you again soon at another car show, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's good times. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you.